The topic is heart rate and axis calculations. So, how to calculate the heart rate from the ECG? To calculate the heart rate from the ECG, we need to check the RR intervals. So, the R waves like this and this. So, the interval between those two, like we need to check the large boxes or the large square. Let's see, this is the large square, as you can see. So we measure these, how many of these are present between the RR interval, and then uh, we divide like 300 divided by the RR intervals that the box is present between the RR intervals will help us to find the heart rate. For an example, let's say this one. Let's just see this one. This one is from the R wave and the R wave. So we can see 1 box, 2 box, 3 box, 4 box, 5 box, and 6 box. And we need to calculate like 300 divided by 6 boxes is equals to 50. So 50 is the heart rate. Again, let's see this one. This is the R wave, this is the R wave. So it's on the line. So we see 1 box, 2 box, 3 box, and 4 box. And we divide 300 divided by 4 box is equals to 75. So 75 is the heart rate of the wave. Let's see again. Let's see this one, 1 and 2 box. So 300 divided by 2 is equals to 150. So 150 is the heart rate of this. That's how you can calculate the heart rate, by measuring the big boxes present between the RR interval and divided by like 300 divided by the RR, the square present between the RR interval, you can get the heart rate. The topic is axis calculations. So what is axis and how we calculate it? So the axis can be the depolarization. We see the direction of the ventricular depolarization. So let's see. These are the waves like lead 1 here, lead 1, lead 2, and AVF. These are the leads we are going to see to calculate the axis. So lead 1 is present here, and lead 2 here, and AVF is here in the bottom. So this area that is present in this area is considered to be normal axis, and this area is considered to be left axis deviation, and this area is considered to be right axis deviation. So let me explain what is this. So by lead we are going to see it. If we see the lead 1, when the vector goes from like if we see this is lead 1 and there is a depolarization that's coming in this direction, so it's going to be a positive deflection. And if it's going away from the lead 1, it's going to be the negative deflection, and we represent the deflection here in this chart like this. If it is a positive vector, we represent on the lead 1 is present here, so it's coming towards the lead V1. The vector is positive. As you can see, it's a positive vector. So if the vector is going away from the lead 1, it's going to be presented in the negative deflection like this, and in the chart it's going to be like this here, because lead 1 is present here, so the vector is going away from, so that's why it's represented in the negative. Let's see for the lead 2. As we can see, lead 2 is present here. So same again, if the deflection is if the vector is coming towards the lead 2, if the depolarization is coming towards the lead 2, then it's going to be the positive deflection, as you can see here. And if it's going away from lead 2, like lead 2 is present here, and the vector is going away from lead 2, so that shows a negative deflection. And the lead AVF as you can see is present here. This is the lead AVF at the 90-degree positive. So if the vector is negative, it's going to be away from the AVF. As AVF is present here, so it's going to be the away from lead AVF. And if it is positive, then it's going to be coming from this side like this. This is the positive. And this is the negative. So we are going to use some rules to follow to calculate the axis. So first we are going to see the lead 1 and after that the lead 2. If we see the lead 1 is positive, we see the next lead 2. If both lead 1 and lead 2 are positive, then it's a normal axis. As you can see, in lead 1, it's a positive deflection towards the lead, as you can see here. So it's a positive, and we know if lead 1 is positive, we check the lead 2, and we can see the lead 2 is positive, so it's come within the range of the normal axis. And what is the normal axis? This particular area comes under the normal axis. This. If the vector or the combination of the vector of the both the lead 1 and lead 2 comes under this, it's considered to be the normal axis. So if we check here, if we combine both the lead 1 and lead 2 vector, it's going to be around till here in this area. And this area is known as normal axis, and it is between the area of -30 till +90. So this area is considered to be normal axis. And if the vector, the combination of the vector consists from here, it's going to be left axis, and if it's here, it's going to be right axis deviation. Let's see what's that. So from the starting as the rule, we check the lead 1. If the lead 1 is positive, we check the lead 2. So here in this example, lead 1 is positive and lead 2 is negative. So the lead 1 positive vector is going to be towards the lead, so it's going to be, that's why it's positive deflection. And if we see the second lead, the vector is away from the lead 2, so it's a negative deflection. So that's why we combine the vector of the both of them, it's going to be around here. That's why, and the normal axis is within here, so it's going away from the normal axis. So this particular area is known as left axis deviation. So the electrical vector going in this direction, the combination of the vector going in this direction, known as left axis deviation. Let's see the next one. From the starting, we check first of all the lead 1, and then we if the lead 1 is positive, then we check lead 2, and if the lead 1 is negative, we directly go to check the lead AVF. If lead 1 is negative, we check lead AVF. So this is the lead 1 and it is negative. As we can see, lead 1 is here and the vector is going away from the lead 1, so it's a negative deflection seen here. It's a negative deflection seen here, and we check now, and we know the AVF present here. The lead AVF is present here, and in this example, the vector is coming towards the lead AVF. That's why it's a positive deflection. And if it's a positive deflection, then if we combine the vector between the lead 1 and AVF, we get a vector around till here in this direction. And in this direction, it's going to be a right axis deviation. Okay, so if first of all we check, it's a rule, we check lead 1, and if lead 1 is positive we check lead 2, and if lead 1 is negative we directly go to lead AVF. Okay, next in this we can see the this is the lead 1 and the vector is going away from the lead 1, so it's a negative deflection as we can see here, because it's going away from lead 1, and we know that if lead 1 is negative we are going to check lead AVF, and in this is the lead AVF, and in this presentation we can see the vector is going away from the lead AVF, and if the vector is going away from the lead it's going to be a negative deflection. So if we combine the vector of lead 1 and AVF, we get a vector in this direction, and in this direction we call extreme axis deviation or intermediate axis. So in this example, as you can see, there is a positive 1 lead 1 and lead 2. So if lead 1 is positive and lead 2 is positive, then it comes under the normal axis. So if we check in this one, lead 1 is positive and lead 2 is negative. So in this, it's going to be a left axis deviation. And in this one, we can see the lead 1 is negative. We know from the rules, like we check first one lead 1, then if it is positive, we check lead 2, and if lead 1 is negative, we check lead AVF. So in this one, lead 1 is negative and lead AVF is positive. So we can see it's a right axis deviation. And in this one, when lead 1 is negative, we check lead AVF. And in this one, lead 1 is negative and lead AVF is negative. So it's going to be a extreme axis deviation. And for the summary, as you can see, the QRS complex is positive. So it's a normal. Lead 1 is positive, or lead 2 is positive, then it's a normal axis. In left axis deviation, lead 1 is positive, but lead 2 is negative. We call it left axis deviation. In right axis deviation, the lead 1 is negative and lead AVF is positive. And in northeast axis or extreme axis deviation, both lead 1 and lead AVF is negative. So, lead 1 is positive, we are going to check lead 2. If lead 2 is also positive, this is a normal axis. If lead 1 is positive and lead 2 is negative, then it's going to be a left axis deviation. And if lead 1 is negative, we are going to check lead AVF. If lead 1 is negative and lead AVF is positive, it's going to be a right axis deviation. If both lead 1 is negative and lead AVF is also negative, then it's a case of extreme axis deviation. And in the left axis deviation, this may indicate the ventricular hypertrophy, left anterior fascicular block, or an old inferior stemma. And in the case of the right axis deviation, it may indicate the right ventricular hypertrophy, or left posterior fascicular block, or an older lateral stemma. Thank you for listening, and if you like my explanation and if you want to watch more videos regarding another topics, you can subscribe to my channel, The Medicine Dose.